Hi everyone, this is Cheyenne Life and Debbie. Just wanted to come back at you with a little bit of an update on the garden haul. I had went back to Dollar Tree, and I actually have two Dollar Trees in Cheyenne. So I had went to the other one to try to find the large pots that I had found that I'd shown everyone on the last video. And well, I was successful and ended up getting 12, maybe 13, I'm not real sure at this point, of the large pots. So make sure you check out your local Dollar Tree if you're looking for a way to grow things in a small space or in a container. Now you will have to punch out some holes on the bottoms of these pots, but they are really sturdy for that $1 price, and very, very large. I think these are probably, they're larger than my 6-quart, or actually 7-quart, I think, crock pot. So these are probably 8-quart or more sized pots. And as well as I picked up some really cute little gardening, we call them doodads back in the South, but just some little accessories, and have some bells that hang from the corners of some trellises that I also picked up. Make sure you check out your Dollar Tree pretty quickly because these are selling out really fast. These are nice large trellises to go into the pots. As you can see, they fit in there quite well. And I'll be growing some of my smaller tomato varieties in some of these pots just so I can get some more area in my garden, since my garden is pretty small, even though I'm expanding. So got those to put some of my smaller tomato plants in, and I may even put some of my bush beans in there, because even though bush beans are more of a bush variety, they still can have some runners on them. So I want to go ahead and get that in there so we can clear up some of the space in the garden. I'll probably pick up some more of these pots, but I do have quite a few out in my garden shed that are about this size as well. And I'm going to try to find some more of these trellises because they're quite sturdy for what they are, and larger, taller variety. So, and they fit nicely down in the pots without falling over. And once they have soil in them, it'll be even harder for them to fall over. And these little things hook right nicely right on the corners of each of these, because they have this little scroll work on the sides. And I also got some pinwheels, or I don't know if they call them windmills here, because to me a windmill is a big, huge thing. But we call these pinwheels back in the South. So I got some of those because they looked a little bit more sturdy this year, and they have double blades on them. And I actually have some of them left over from last year. Now these, I had these before. They fall apart pretty quickly, but I did have a couple of them survive. And some other little signs and trinkets and things like that. And if you're seeing this piece of a painting over here, it's something we did with a door in our house that doesn't go anywhere. It used to be stairs, and they closed it off and just left the door that used to be to the stairs there. So we just covered it up with 1/3 of a triptych from a painter called Hiroshima Bosch, and that is one piece of it, and I think this is the one that is signifying hell. So we have it because it's just kind of funny, some of the little designs that are in there. But anyway, it's just a little funny thing we put on the door. And we used to have a little sign that hung here that says "Door to Nowhere." So it was pretty funny. Anyway, that is the gardening things. I just have them sitting in here in the dining room since we still have so much snow outside. I can't really get to the garden shed right now. We're digging out, but slowly. We've gotten a path now to take the trash out, and we've gotten a path to get the post office to deliver our mail, and just have walkways and things like that. But it is melting pretty fast now, but still only have the paths. Anyway, also wanted to show you an update on the tomato plants, because everyone was wondering whether or not they would do anything in a window, and you need all these special lights. Just to let everyone know, this growing room that I have, and I've mentioned several times in other videos, is a south-facing window. So it does get a lot of sunlight when there is sun. Right today it is overcast, but it does get a lot of light regardless of whether the sun is out. And as you can see, my tomato plants are no longer little Little tiny fellows. They are not spindly. They're looking like ripe tomato plants. In fact, probably another 6 inches or so and they'd be ready to go outside. But we're going to keep them in pots and just increase the size of the pots because these are the super sauce tomatoes, so they will be nowhere near trying to bloom or anything for another month and a half to 2 months. So they will be fine until we can get them outside and transplanted. So anyway, as you can see, they are not little anymore. They have little limbs and their leaves are growing quite a bit now, and even getting their little center sections again to make more limbs. And they'll be in these pots for another 3 weeks or so before I transplant them into something larger. So anyway, that is the tomato plants. And I did go ahead and remember plant some second run of seeds. And as you can see, those are now coming up. So far, I only planted 4 in this one, I think. 4 or 5. And 2 out of the 4 or 5 are up. And I think I see 1 more coming up right over there. So that might be 3. Yep, that is definitely 1 coming up. And I think I actually see another one. So that'll be 4 out of the 5 so far that have came up. And once they come up and have their little second set of leaves is when we will transplant them into these containers, which are larger. And then they will keep on growing like these have been. So that's the update on those. And the cabbage plants are still doing wonderfully. They've gotten bigger, still not spindly, still have some little, I'd say 3rd, 4th, 5th sets of leaves coming on. And even the small ones are catching up now. So as you can see, they're doing fine, and they're actually a little bit shaded in this second shelf of my growing rack. So they're fine. And then once the snow melts off completely, and I look at the forecast and see how everything's going, I may go ahead and transplant these outside because they will handle a frost and they will even handle a snow on them. And all I have to do is just cover them up with other pots and insulate them. So I have that, and they will grow just fine. And then here is the artichokes that I had mentioned before. As you can see, they're getting quite big. And it'll be the same story with those. They will actually handle a little bit of a frost. At least mine have, that I've planted before. So I don't know if I'm making them more hardy since I live here and have them planted here. But these will just get covered up if we have any frost or anything. And if they die, of course, I have more seeds and I can get those started. I'm actually going to start a second run of those very, very soon. And there's the basil. The basil is coming on. It looks like I have a few in there that are going to come on. So that is happening. And right now I don't have any of the other seeds up yet. I do see some little things in the center where they're puffing up, which means they will likely be up in the next day or so. And this, of course, is my straight 8 cucumbers, the white pumpkins, and I have Armenian cucumbers over here. And I have planted 4 Crenshaw melons in this one. So this one has the 4 Crenshaw melons, and then on the other side it has 2 of the white pumpkins because I don't need very many of those. They will run and probably have anywhere from 5 to 8 pumpkins on each vine. And this is the Armenian. The Armenian take a very long time to come up, so I don't expect those to come up for another week or so. So anyway, that is the update on the plants. Hope everyone is doing well out there. I will likely be making another video very, very soon if I can. And I had cut off some fuchsia starts from my fuchsia plant, and I'm working on getting those rooted right now. So I have 3 in there, and I will have 3 more fuchsias likely, possibly. I've had a couple of the leaves have withered, so not sure if that particular one is going to make it, but the other 2 look perfectly fine. So hopefully we'll have some more fuchsia plants because I really, really enjoy the fuchsia because they look like bleeding hearts to me. And as you can see, we have already gotten started on putting some more plants in and seeds. And my daughter has now, my older daughter, has gotten a box and has started saving seeds herself. So she's looking at having a garden when she moves out on her own, which won't be for a while. So she's actually just going to plant in my garden. Anyway, Hope everyone is having a great day out there wherever you are. Like, subscribe, and hit the notification bell if you want to get notices on new videos as they come out. And we will see you in the next one.